This is the Iowa Weather Report for Thursday, October 3rd, 2013. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. At 1 p.m. this afternoon, we have a system with a trough coming through the Intermountain West, moving into the Central Rockies. This will be ejecting into the Plain States later today and into Friday. And we have a low pressure center beginning to develop over southeastern Colorado, southwestern Kansas. Numerous showers and thunderstorms will be possible. Some snow will be possible in the mountains of Montana and Wyoming. And in the severe weather area, we have a slight risk of severe weather for today and tonight for eastern Nebraska into western and central Iowa. The map looks a little messed up there. But when we take a look at today's severe weather threats, here's the tornado outlook for today and tonight. You can see there is a 5% tornado chance, mainly across far western Iowa, around the Omaha area, westward to about Grand Island and Kearney, Nebraska. But the main threats around here will likely be damaging wind, the standard 15% area, mainly from about Des Moines, Sioux City, Omaha, back to Grand Island, Lincoln, and Kearney, Nebraska. And then when we take a look next at the damaging hail, or large hail, you can see it's about the same place, a little further to the east, maybe including areas like Ames, Marshalltown, through Des Moines, Fort Dodge, Sioux City, back to Omaha and westward from there into central Nebraska. When we then go to Friday, you can see this is Friday at 1 p.m. We have a low pressure center south of about Kearney or Hastings, Nebraska. Some heavy snow or maybe cold rain to the west, severe weather to the east. And then when we look at the severe weather threat for Friday, a slight risk of severe weather from Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, through most of Iowa except the far southeast, into eastern Nebraska, northwestern Missouri, eastern Kansas, and the northern and western parts of Oklahoma. When we take a look at the probability, you can see the best chances look to be over southwest Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, most of Iowa, into far eastern Nebraska, and even into Kansas, with a hatched area also included, so we could see some very dangerous weather ahead. When we take a look at some of the parameters, here's the STP, the significant tornado parameter. This is for Friday at 4 p.m. You can see some decent numbers, well over 3 in the orange areas in Iowa into southwestern Minnesota. When we take a look at the supercell composite, you can see the better numbers are up near about the I-90 corridor and then dipping into central Iowa, so that could be of some interest. And when we look at the Craven-Brooks Index, you can see some decent numbers, even some high numbers around the Sioux Falls area down to Omaha, and even moderately high numbers all the way extending back into the Red River Valley of Oklahoma and Texas, so some active weather ahead. When we take a look at the surface-based CAPE, this also at 4 p.m. on Friday, you can see surface-based CAPE anywhere between about 1,500 to over 2,500 joules per kilogram. And so there'll be a lot of activity going on Friday. Heading into Saturday, now the GFS is a lot slower. This has the front still moving through the eastern counties Saturday at midday, with the low pressure center occluding a little further to the west towards southwestern Minnesota. And while that's taking place, we have a tropical system, likely named Karen, moving into the Gulf Coast. That'll not be affecting us, but here on Sunday, we could see some backwash clouds. We thought we weren't going to see those on Sunday, maybe on Saturday, so it'll be fairly cool Saturday and Sunday. Monday, that system lifts off. Temperatures will begin to moderate, at least back into the 60s. Lows around 40, maybe some upper 30s, but by Monday morning, we should just see 40s. Tuesday, high pressure is now off to our east. The winds start to switch back to the southwest, especially in western Iowa, so temperatures will likely be nearing 70 or maybe low to mid-70s again. This will be ahead of another storm that'll be coming at us. And you can see that here on Wednesday, the low pressure center near Pierce, South Dakota, but you see a lack of any precipitation because there is none or very little, if any. So this system looks to come in fairly dry. And a week from today, you can see that energy is moving into the Great Lakes. Another somewhat better piece of energy moving into the north and west. But the energy moving into the Great Lakes up into Canada is going to drag that cold front through, and there could be a very isolated shower with that. It's not looking too exciting here, as the Gulf is pretty much closed for us. There could be some showers in Florida and along the Gulf Coast, but not around here. A couple days after that, going into the extended period on October the 14th, we have a trough Oh, pretty much overhead. It's not a deep trough by any means, but a trough axis will be close by. And with that, there could be a storm system just departing the area. Some colder air coming down as well as the thickness lines will be coming down. The 540 line ain't too far north of here, so that could mean temperatures maybe behind the front in the 50s. And then at the end of the forecast on October the 18th, some energy moving across Canada, an upper-level feature trying to hang back over the Intermountain West in the Four Corners region. We have a bit of a west to west-northwesterly flow aloft. That's going to keep temperatures somewhat near seasonal levels. We have a storm system departing us once again, several storm systems over Canada, and maybe a tropical system trying to move into the Gulf of Mexico. Satellite image from last evening, you can see way at the bottom right or bottom right center part of the screen what could become Tropical Storm Karen that'll be heading for the Gulf Coast, and the cold front storm system off to our west producing a few showers and thunderstorms. The watch warning map from last evening, it's also going to be producing a lot of wintry weather, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, winter storm watches for Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, into Idaho. So very wintry there. QPF chart, precipitation over the next 5 days through Monday evening at 7 o'clock, showing some very heavy rainfall amounts, maybe 3 to 4.5 inches around here. Could see some lower totals than that. Also heavy totals with that tropical system in the south.